Extroverts who became introverts. What made you such? Not sure if I could be considered extrovert before, but I went depressed. With therapy I've learned and started to remember things I could have done and did before. That would be crazy and definitely didn't sound like that could have been me. I did visit a festival all by my own just because I had a strong will to be there and my friends couldn't follow. Went there and started hanging around with a huge group of people that was mostly strangers to each other. Then when I got depressed I couldn't even visit the grocery store without having panic attacks. On a good day I can be very talkative, but I often find myself being awkwardly and uncomfortable quiet and can't get out of the loop of being quiet once you've started being quiet. I've always thought that this is a false dichotomy. I'm a pretty gregarious guy. I ran a bar for years, from behind the bar, and can chat all fucking night and socialize with the best of them. But sometimes I have to go and hang out with myself. A lot of my astrologer friends got super hyped when this concept came into the mainstream. Spoiler alert, they all consider themselves introverts because astrology. Gotta be wise, I guess. Another spoiler alert, they're not all introverts. I thought I was taking goddamn crazy pills when a post along the lines of, "You guys, sometimes I like people, and sometimes I want to be alone. I just learned about ambiverts and it explains everything." No, it's just you realizing that you've put yourself into an arbitrary, unrealistic category. I am a lifelong extrovert, and have often been friends with introverts. It's nice. They laugh at my stupid jokes, and when no one else is around they say some really fun stuff themselves. It feels like a special gift, because I get let into the secret that is this cool person. I often ask myself this question and I still don't have a definitive answer. When I was a teenager I had a lot of friends, was very outgoing, and was constantly doing something. Now, that charismatic me is a thing of the past. I am constantly afraid that I'm going to say something dumb in front of someone I don't know, and somewhere along the line I started caring what other people thought. I became shy around people I didn't know, even if I had friends around. I stopped keeping busy and only go out a few times a month to meet up with friends, pre-COVID, that is. I like to think that for being closer to 30 than 20, I still have a lot of friends, but I rarely interact with people outside of them and family. I wish I had a reason all this started, like something I could at least say that, and because of that I stopped being outgoing, but I just don't. It's frustrating sometimes because I want to be that person again, but for whatever reason, I just can't. Not sure if I ever truly was an extrovert. I would go to a lot of events even if I didn't want to, and I can turn it on and chat to whoever even now, but as I got older I also got better at saying no. Life's too short and I'd rather be home with my girlfriend and my animals than spending time with most other people. I have a core group of friends who I'm happy to hang out with from time to time, but I'm not wasting my time hanging out with people from work who I already pre-lockdown see for 40+ hours a week. Remember the girls in elementary school that always got picked to do things? Were favorites of all the teachers and always got to help out. They shopped at Justice and had really cute school supplies and enough jelly markers for the whole school. I desperately wanted to be friends with those kids, but they just found me annoying and I was never picked to do things. I was really energetic and loud as a kid, and I think that's what people disliked. I always said to myself at the beginning of each year, don't be yourself. It wasn't until 7th that actually cemented itself into my character, and that was only because I liked this one guy. When I was socializing, especially in college and early 20s, I was always fucking exhausted. Meeting new people, striking up conversations and keeping them flowing without feeling forced is absolutely exhausting. I remember when I realized that trying to be extroverted was draining me. I made some changes, shrunk my circle of friends, and made more time for solo activities. I felt much better. I don't really know if I'm extrovert or introvert. I can certainly socialize well enough when I really need to, but I don't care about making a lot of friends or having a big social circle. I have my wife and kids, I see my parents and in-laws once a week or so, then I have a few friends I see a few times a year. Other than them, no one else in the world really matters all that much to me. If someone talks to me I'll engage with them, but I'm just not all that interested in making small talk with every person I come across. I had a lot of online friends as well as real friends from school in which I would talk to as much as I could. One day, while I was on the Call Me Carson Discord server, a guy came on and started venting about self-h per meter and wanting to KLL himself, and that his mom didn't believe he was depressed. We talked for an hour or two and friended each other. We became like best friends until I was at school. We can have our phones when we are in the gym waiting for school to start, talking to all my friends, and I was having such a great time until I got a notification from his Discord and I got all excited just for it to say something like, "Hello, dead name. This is guy's name, S mother. Last night, guy's name, shot himself in the head. I'm so sorry. I don't remember exactly what it said because it was a while back and I got a new Discord, but whenever I told other people, they literally made fun of me for it, so I just stopped talking to people for a while." Depression. I used to need to hang with friends, otherwise it would get all sulky, moody and just sleep all day. But when I became depressed, and subsequently lost most of my social interaction with people, I think my body flipped a switch and adapted to being alone. Suddenly I got really taxed from spending a night out, and I could only regain my energy if I had a few hours alone in my room. These days my depression is mostly gone, aside from the occasional shortfall back, and I once again feel more an extrovert than an introvert. I really feel alive after a hangout with friends, and if I'm alone for too long I start to run on autopilot. Got tired of dealing with conversational narcissists and being taken for granted all the time. I find it really hard to find a genuine connection with my family and old friends, and came to the realization that I've never felt like I could relate to anyone 100. Doesn't help that more and more people this day and age seem like they're clout chasing and just trying to go viral anymore in some way, like it's more important than just trying to be a better person without needing to feel validated by doing so in some way. People would rather film someone in a bad situation and post it online for the world to see than try to help. The discrepancies of what society has become has made me feel disconnected with social anxiety and made me very skeptical and cautious about meeting any potentially new people who could have a real impact on my life. It is impossible to become an introvert if you are extroverted. The reason: being introverted, extroverted is genetic. It is the same as trying to change your hair, skin, eye color, impossible without artificial, superficial means. You might try to argue this, or this may be hard to believe for you. But I'm telling you from my personal research, that we are born with a personality that we cannot truly change no matter how much we try. Introversion, extroversion are simply traits of those personalities. There are 4 personalities we can have: choleric, sanguine, phlegmatic, and melancholy. 2 of them are extroverted, and 2 are introverted. Where does this information come from? Search for the ancient Greek physician Hippocrates. Learn about his theory of the 4 humors, or biles. This theory holds up today. We can, however, have a combination of up to 2 different personalities. We can be 50-50, or 70-30ths of any combination. Where does this come from? I have done my own research and these are my findings. There are a lot of things that can appear as someone acting introverted when they are actually extroverted. It may be that they have become discouraged and are choosing to withdraw from a situation. Each personality has positive and negative traits. And we can all experience things like depression and anxiety, which can definitely affect how it might seem to others. When we are mentally unhealthy, we will exhibit more of the negative traits. When we are healthier and living our truth, we exhibit more positive traits. These fluctuations in people's mental health undoubtedly can appear as a change. When a choleric or sanguine person is living healthily, you will see extroversion. When unhealthy, introversion. When a phlegmatic or melancholy person is living healthily, the opposite. You see, extroversion, introversion actually just means, in what way do you mentally recharge? Some people recharge by being around or interacting with other people. But being alone and having solitude drains them mentally. They are extroverted. Introverts are just the opposite. If you have 2 personalities that recharge in both ways, then you might be able to recharge some in both ways. Whichever personality is dominant for you will be the deciding factor. Now, if you are an introverted person, are too shy, and you don't like this about yourself, it may be that you are simply noticing a negative trait that you have. Being shy itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's if you are failing to assert your wants or needs. But, embrace who you are. Rediscover and reconnect back to yourself. The same exact thing can happen to an extrovert in the reverse. You may find yourself being too loud or rudely interjecting. These negative traits are simply things that all of us have to work on to improve ourselves. It doesn't mean you need to change how you naturally recharge your mental state. If we practice living a truthful life and being our best version of our true selves, then we can show our positivity to others, and accept who we are as well as others.